The To Be Determined Show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Motor, Fast Eddie Layne, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com.
The views and opinions expressed by the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, are of my own and no one else, nor do they reflect Beyond Ringside. So, ladies and gentlemen, due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, the To Be Determined. What's your vector, Victor?
Roger.
Are live. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, Beyond Ringside Progressive.net. We're going to go ahead and let everyone know right off the bat, we are 128 fluid ounces into Budweiser Cheladas this evening, and 2 shots into Pinnacle Citrus Vodka. I am your host, the Oracle of Ominous, the Architect of Intellect, the Wicked Nemesis, and joining me is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne. Also, my producer extraordinaire and the host of Beyond Ringside, 5:30 Central Standard Time, every Sunday on this very network. How are you doing this evening, sir?
Well, almost every Sunday. We were off this Sunday because I was on a road trip. God love them.
Yes, and congratulations to Team IOU and Jacoby Boykins. Hello, sir. Alabama ambassador in the house. And you hear it clapping. She's back.
Woo-hoo.
My much better half, Angie Nemesis. Angie, how you doing, Susan?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, I'm just going to let everybody know we're fucked up. We have a special guest throughout this evening. He is the GCW middleweight champion, defending in a 3-way dance that we learned last night on GCW Radio. Talk about a swerve. He is the greatest worker, the greatest wrestler in wrestling today. I'm sorry, suck a dick, lick my urethra if you don't be better. Joshua O'Hagan. O'Hagan, how you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing fantastic, doing amazing, doing splendid.
Look, nobody gives 2 shits, dude. You're fucking amazing. And these motherfuckers, this Saturday, GCW, if you are not in Pell City, Alabama,
you better be somewhere.
You can't call yourself a
exotic.
wrestling fan.
Yeah, you better
cannot,
be on vacation,
yes,
exotic
motherfucker,
somewhere.
your ass better be in fucking Tijuana, fucking, you better be getting some boob job.
Barbados.
Just for one match alone.
Yeah.
One match. There are several matches this Saturday, but one match involves the gentleman that is, we're going to call him the guest co-host tonight, because goddamn it, he's part of the family, Joshua O'Hagan.
He is.
Joshua O'Hagan defending the GCW middleweight title against Charles Zanders, personally one of my favorites, and Dylan Cook, definitely one of my personal favorites. This Saturday, there is going to be a match. This past Saturday, Carrollton, Georgia, event of the year. Peachstate knocked it out of the park. Jimmy and Kyle Matthews, amazing match, possibly match of the year. This right here, without a shadow of the doubt, will be the match of the year in the state of Alabama. This quite possibly may be the match of the year, and it better be a contender. I'm looking at you, Larry Goodman. A contender for match of the year. Charles Zanders, Dylan Cook, Joshua O'Hagan for the GCW middleweight title. Josh, I know that this is a swerve with Dylan being added to this, and it's a triple threat. You are scheduled to defend this title if you win the Saturday in Los Angeles next month, what is your mind state going into this?
Well, it's kind of unique because first they signed me to wrestle Hansel, and then they're going to bring in Dr. Charisma himself, Derek Zoolander, to the match. So now I really do feel like Mugatu facing off against two little pretty boy model boys who both don't have a lick of sense between the both of them. I mean, literally, the files are in the computer. I mean, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here in GCW when they got Derek Zoolander and Hansel across the ring from me. It's just ridiculous. I mean, maybe this could be a freak gasoline fight match or something. I don't know. GCW just likes to throw things at me. And guess what? I take them. Global warfare. Not to mention any names, but somebody threw a monkey wrench in all my plans that I had laid out. And because to me, anything goes in a cage match. Oh, no, that's just me. To me, in an elimination tag match, both members of the team have to be eliminated. Last time I checked, I never got pinned or tapped out in that match. But that's a different story. And I understand it wasn't against me. I know that you interfered because of O'Malley's boots. I get it.
Yeah. Yes, you are right. No, I interfered because J.P. McGregor, Jesse Payne, whatever, he cannot rate himself as an official and do what he did. Joshua Hagan, I respect you. Hell, I respect Jesse Payne. I respect O'Malley. I do not respect O'Malley's boots because they're absolutely fucking terrible. But come on now, you knew when I got that fax from Bob, because only 2 people in the world use faxes. 3, including Eddie Layne. I'm sorry, Eddie.
It's all right.
Well, myself and Eddie. And when Dan was like, "Hey, since you're going to the beach, you mind if we go to Gulf Shores?" I did not realize that Bullet Bob lived in Gulf Breeze, but he met us, so that's fine. And I was actually in Montgomery this past week with Alabama Athletic Commission, believe it or not. But that's a whole nother story. But Josh, it is nothing against you, and you know this. Leon.
Oh, I know. I understand, because at the same time, I mean, in JP's defense, he has the right to call things. If he didn't see it as a clean pin and he didn't want to count for Dog, that's his thing. But Dog laid his hands on him first. That was self-defense. But again, you're right. That's another story. GCW now wants to take a match that I had against Hansel, Zanders, whatever you want to call them, Charles Zanders, who I have said on many occasions is a very high-level athlete.
Yes,
I take nothing away from that. He is a very, very talented young man, but he's still a young man. He's still a little wet behind the ears. And you can jump and you can run, but there's an experience difference, and it's way, way big. And Dylan Cook's the same way. They want to throw Dylan Cook in this match, and combined, you take both of their years, combine them, and take the number of matches they've had to get combined and put them together, they still don't equal me.
You're right. You're 100. Look, I'm not cutting you back the least, but you were Charles Zanders at one point. At one point, you were swinging at the top guys. You are literally the greatest GCW champion that has ever existed. You are one of the best workers in the Southeast. Why wouldn't Charles and Dylan swing at the top? Why not cut the head off the snake?
Oh, you know what? I would do the same thing they're doing. They're smart. They're smart, and you know what? They're smart for getting their names both on that contract. This is a situation where you don't have to beat me to take my title. This is the smartest thing they could have ever done. But here's the thing. They're both young. They're both hungry, and I have been there. You know, for 17 years, I've been in this business. And here's what's really scary. I'm still in my damn prime. These boys are going to come into it, and because of their mentality, because they're young, they're not going to think that. They're going to think, ooh, I want to beat O'Hagan. I want to make a name for myself. They're not going to be thinking strategy. This is a chess game. You want to take the king out. But what they're going to be going after pawn. They don't understand there's a bigger picture. And they're going to be fighting amongst themselves more so than they are thinking about me. If this was me and like JP or me and O'Malley against one of them, you can guarantee that we take that one out and then settle it between us like men. But they're not going to do that. They're going to want to just try to get in there and fight. That's where the inexperience comes in. They aren't planning this. And even if they do plan it, emotions, nerves, excitement, they're going to get in there and it's just going to fall apart. What was it someone said? I think a really smart man said this. Your game plan goes to shit once you get hit in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a game plan until they're punched in the mouth. And you're 100% correct. But that's what separates you. But here's the thing, Josh. This doesn't just go to Charles and Dylan. This goes to wrestling as a whole. You've just opened a can of worms. That's how most people go into any match. They go into it blindly. They go into it, if they have a game plan, as soon as that Irish necktie comes down, it's done. Mm-hmm. That's what separates you from these other people. And that's what I've tried to instill in Charles and Dylan. This is literally two of my proteges against what I consider definitely, and this is no offense, because there have been some great names. And Eddie, you said it last night. You were talking about the Guardians. I call them the pillars. You look at some of the people. Joshua O'Hagan is one of the pillars of GCW. Once you go through Prowler, if you make it, then you go through Mudbone, if you make it. Your next step in any fucking ring of the ladder in GCW, Eddie, you're 100% correct. The gentleman we have on the line right now, the Vanguard. That's right. You're right, sir. I actually did see that in production. But you're right. Like, Josh was one of those guys that you have to go through. God damn it. If you have a bad match with Joshua O'Hagan, get the fuck out. Take whatever gear you have,
burn it,
throw it in the dumpster, set it on fire, and stand behind it. I'm sorry, Josh, how many times have I wrestled you?
1,000,000,007.
How many times have we called anything minus the finish?
None.
Okay, I'm a manager. That's this Saturday. This match, Josh, oh my fucking God, take away the kayfabe factor of it. Dylan and Charles Zanders. And Charles Zanders, dude, we looked for you Saturday night at Peachstate. We were hoping that you would.
Yeah, I wanted to make it, but unfortunately, O'Hagan family business kind of kept me.
Well, I talked to you at the last minute. We did hope that you were going to. I talked to Shane Knowles. I said, if Joshua O'Hagan shows up, you know why. So we did have a seat saved for you, just in case you and your son showed. So, with that being said, Charles Zanders, I don't know what he has left. I know those pulling back the curtain, and Eddie, you mentioned it last night on GCW Radio. The spot that he pulled off in the cage. Joshua O'Hagan, I've seen it before. When I look at Charles Zanders, I see Joshua O'Hagan in 2008. It is so scary. It is so unreal. The correlation between you two. He is so hungry. And Dylan Cook, Mr. Charisma himself.
D20, yo.
Yo, D20, yo. He showed more fire and more charisma the last 3 GCW events that I've ever seen. And the fans, Josh, you have all of GCW against you. How does this make you feel, sir?
You know what? I love a challenge. I love the fact that Charles signed his name on that line. And you know what? I'm actually happy that Dylan did, because this just gives me more opportunities. I told you last week, I said, you're going to see a Joshua O'Hagan that you haven't seen in a long time. You're gonna when you're watching me wrestle, you're gonna be like, damn, that's Mr. Blur out there. Because you're gonna see things that you haven't seen in a long time. You're gonna see things that you've never seen. You have different strategies when you go into the ring with guys like Leon the Bull. You have different strategies when you go into the ring with Mad Dog Dan Sawyer. I wrestled Rodney Mack and took the White Boy Challenge. Guess what? You have different game plans when you wrestle these big, huge guys. Now you put me back in my middleweight division when guys that are in middleweight weight classes. And Big K, I'm not talking about you, even though you made a post about it. That's awesome. Just cut off your leg. Maybe you'll be a middleweight then. Seriously, that's funny. But you say I'm like a vanguard, and this is something that's very, very true. Because think about this: you want to get past me to make a name for yourself and be something in GCW. Well, what they don't realize is I'm like the Sphinx. You're going to come up and you're going to have to get by me. But I'm a riddle they can't answer. They're not going to be able to figure me out. For 17 years, people have been trying to figure me out. And guess what? I keep winning titles. Whether it's tag titles with 18,000 different partners, whether it's U.S. titles, TV titles, damn middleweight titles, I don't care. I'm winning, and winning. That's because I keep changing myself up. But you're going to see me go back to something that it's almost scary what I have in store for these young boys, because they are where I used to be. And Xander's is like me, and I give him all that credit in the world. But they don't want 2008 me, because as athletic as they are, and as they're not going to be able to keep up with what I have in store. I had a game plan. I've been in this situation before. Spiral, Mike Cruz. What happened? Walked out with the title. This time, no member of my team, Howard C. Cross, O'Malley, J.P. McGregor, I'm personally keeping them in the back in this match. I am proving a point at this show. They are not going to be allowed ringside. Now, if my sister wants to come out and watch the show, by all means, do it. But she's not going to be ringside. She's going to be away from the ring. I want everyone to know this middleweight division is mine. This middleweight title is mine. What is it Dre said? You going to turn me back to the old me? That's what these people are going to get, and that's what they're not going to be ready for.
Well, now for all the hip hop heads out there, we have to say, y'all going to keep fucking with me and turn me back to the old me. Is exactly. But I hate you.
Yeah.
It is so hard to pull against Joshua O'Hagan. This is literally two of the future, the definite. There's a definite in professional wrestling. And John, you know this. Eddie, you know this. There's going to be a next generation. There's going to be a new wave. And you're looking at who I consider two of the faces of professional wrestling going the next 20 years in Dylan Cook and Charles Anders. Or as you call them, Zoolander and Hansel. That Hansel's so hot right now. And you know what? You maybe got to in this because you're the only one taking crazy pills. But, Eddie, I want
to still pass a wellness test, though.
Yeah, we know you can. You're the only person that can. I damn sure can't. And nobody can. Eddie, you've witnessed a lot of quote-unquote middleweight matches, quote-unquote cruiserweight matches. What separates this match from, let's say, the last 5 years of GCW middleweight/TV title matches?
Easy. You have a chemical equation going into this match where you have one of the young high flyers who is also developing a good ground game. You have a young amateur athlete who is making and has made a great transition into the professional side, adding the American catch-as-catch-can to Greco-Roman and freestyle. And the third member of this party, if you listened to Global Championship Wrestling's GCW radio last night, I call Josh O'Hagan one of the most pure, well-traveled veterans that you will ever find out there. He has the uncanny ability to adapt to any circumstance. He alluded to that a minute ago when he says he has a different game plan when he faces someone his size as opposed to the size of Bull Stresser, and even bigger heavyweights than that, or people even smaller than Xander's. You have three.
Scott Aries.
Stop it.
Oh, fuck you.
What? The guy's short. He's like short in real life. Like,
he is.
Like, that's not even an insult. Like, you know what? I'm short. I am the measuring stick for short. Like, people will be like, hey, is that guy short? Yeah, but he's not like O'Hagan short, but he's short. I'm the guy, like, if you're shorter than me, you're like, damn, that dude's like short as shit. Guess what? Scott Aries, you're short. There's nothing wrong with that. Live up to it or live down to it since you're short. But still, be short and be proud. Short people ain't got no reason. Just rock it, dude. Be proud of it. Dude, you're short.
Josh O'Hagan and Eddie, I am convinced that Scott Aries may be fucking Logan. He may be Wolverine. Yeah. I'm just saying. God damn it. That motherfucker right there has a chip on his shoulder. And I told him this Saturday night, he wrestles like he has like Dynamite Kid wrestled like he had a chip on his shoulder. Motherfucker, that goddamn motherfucker, Scott Aries, wrestles like he has 2 chips on his shoulders. Holy shit.
Like Pringles.
Yeah. Fucking Kenny just
fucking Ruffles have ridges. I'm just saying.
But you are right.
Oh, and you know what? And he's a great athlete too. Don't get me wrong. I had an amazing match with him at GCW for the middleweight title. After I won it, he was my first challenger, and he showed up, and we had a great match. I mean, I won, of course, but that's in the past. This is the future. As you were saying, Eddie.
I forgot where the hell I was.
He was saying how he wrestles people bigger than Leon and smaller than Xander's. And I had to point out that I have wrestled people smaller than Xander's. I wrestled Scott Aries and Enigma. They're both shorter than Scott Aries.
I even heard you went to a time limit draw with Joey Lorion's Lollipop. I mean, hey, congratulations, dude.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna pause so people can pretend they're laughing.
There you go. Nobody fakes it around here. Nobody fakes it around here. If the joke sucked, the joke sucked.
I was hoping that you'd add in a laugh track. Oh. That way you didn't feel so stupid.
Dude, this is me you're talking to, okay? I have more bad one-liners than you do, and that's saying a lot. Coming back to reality for a moment.
But way less one-nighters. Anyway.
Oh, I have a ton less one-nighters than you do. You could write a soliloquy. Warren Peachstate ain't got jack on you, dude.
Shit, you're right about that.
Hey, here's the thing. If Charles Sanders is the LeBron James of Pro South, does that make me the Wilt Chamberlain of GCW?
Yes, it does.
Oh, my fucking God.
Oh, you're the Wilt Chamberlain of something, motherfucker.
Either that or Gene Simmons. I don't know.
I'm so sorry I'm working on that.
You're fucking Michael Jordan.
No, I don't know. I mean,
Megan's so I can say that shit. So whatever.
We'll stick with Wilt Chamberlain, okay? Go ahead. We're not even going to go Jordan on that one.
Just saying.
That was just gold, dude. That was gold.
God damn it.
Just saying. Don't you guys remember the night that I scored 100 points? What?
and put that motherfucking shit up on the To Be Determined show. I want that as a tagline. When Eddie puts out some amazing slideshows, Eddie, I'm begging you, please make that a slideshow.
Yes.
Okay, if Charles Anders is the LeBron James of Pro South, that makes O'Hagan the Wilt Chamberlain of GCW.
Yes.
Whatever. I'm the Wilt Chamberlain of the damn northern continent. What are you talking about? Just saying.
God damn. Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna say this. You better watch out. You better make sure you wear your goddamn inline skates to bed tonight. Somebody gonna
Man, I got like a Kevlar vest. I got MMA gloves on.
Better, motherfucker.
All right. Shit. I got like 2 bouncy houses next to my bed in case I fall off. I'm like, ooh, it's a castle. Oh, I'm good.
Josh, we have to take our first break. So, O'Hagan, you're the guest tonight, but we're going to end this part of the interview. How can everyone get in touch with you, sir?
Well, let's see. I'm not going to give up my cell phone number. That'd be ludicrous. I mean, just saying. It's inconceivable. You can find me on Facebook at Joshua O'Hagan. It's the one, like, if you type in Joshua O'Hagan, it's the one next to, there's a picture of me next to it. So it's pretty easy to find. I'm on Instagram. I don't know. Eddie will tell you later because he knows all that stuff. I actually just got back on Twitter, like yesterday. And it's Mr. Joshua O'Hagan. There's a Mr. because I demand your respect. And let's see. I'm on Snapchat, O'Hagan88. But mainly I just send people pictures of donuts. It's pretty entertaining, you know, if you like donuts. Like Francisco Chiazzo, he loves donuts. That guy just like, oh, donuts. Andy hates me for donuts, so just saying. But yeah, just find me like that. And you can probably email me, but I'm not giving that out either. That's just awkward. And if I don't know you personally, please don't call me on Facebook. That's just creepy.
No. Hell no.
Yeah, you butt dial him enough for
God.
enough for
I know, I do
everybody.
enough. Him and Ace Haven. Unfortunately, Joshua O'Hagan and Ace Haven. I actually butt dial and thumb dial on Facebook more than anybody I know.
God help the way you actually have a booty.
Oh, God,
You'd
I
be
know.
butt dialing
Nothing
everybody.
but bite. Nothing but back. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to take our first break of the evening. When we come back, we're going to talk to Wrestling with Pop Culture's Jonathon Williams about everything that's going on in Georgia professional wrestling and, of course, NCW's next big show. Right here on the To Be Determined show, live Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com, and ProWrestlingRadio.net. You know, sometimes I'm sure that Eddie Layne's asshole puckers up, and the To Be Determined show is one of them. If you don't want to hear the truth, do not come on this show. The To Be Determined show, live Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com, as well as ProWrestlingRadio.net. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a hell of an interview. A man that has written some of the best articles, a man that is a true critic. And we need that in professional wrestling. A man that doesn't try to overstep his boundaries. A man that knows what he does is critical. And a man that totally understands and respects. And that's the big part about it. Respects professional wrestling. You know him from Wrestling with Pop Culture. You also know him from every podcast in the Southeast known to man. He is a regular. He is family to the To Be Determined show. He is Wrestling with Pop Culture's own Jonathon Williams. Jonathon, how are you doing this evening, sir?
Well, great. I appreciate that great introduction. Wasn't expecting all that, but thanks.
Jonathon, you're so humble, man. Shut the hell up. Like, you don't come on. You know you don't come on this show unless you bring something to the table. Now, Jonathon, you have watched a lot of Southeast wrestling. You have covered a lot of Southeast wrestling. What has stood out recently in Southeastern wrestling for yourself, sir?
Well, let's see. Fred Yehai is the Evolve champion, which is a pretty big deal. Fred Yehai is a Georgia guy who is doing very well for himself now outside of Georgia, as have a lot of other Georgia-grown talents. But as far as what I've seen locally, I actually have been a little out of the loop because of other non-wrestling obligations. But there's a lot going on. I understand a lot of promotions in Georgia have shut down or at least kind of gone on hiatus over the past few months, which is unfortunate, but there's still a lot going on. I have not yet made it up to Cornelia to see Why We Wrestle, which is, you know, the same lineage of wrestling that started with Wildside and continued through Anarchy, and now it's under new ownership. But I hear good things about that. We were talking off the air about Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment, which brings in some top talent that you don't see anywhere else in Georgia or any. Well, you see them in other parts of the Southeast, but for some reason Georgia's this weird kind of void where the Carolinas get a lot of these same talents, and of course Florida gets a lot of it, but not a lot of that in Georgia. So yeah, there's a lot going on, a lot of good stuff. I don't get outside of Georgia much these days. I haven't been out in your area in West Georgia or Alabama in quite a while, but looks like Peachstate's still going strong. Actually, I went to UIW about a month ago. I forgot about that when they had Brutal Bob Evans and Congo, Action Ortiz, and Matt Sexels were all there for Brutal Bob's seminar. That was a pretty good show. But otherwise, I've been...
Now, Monstrosity, a mainstay in Georgia, is coming back, sir. What can you tell us about the rebirth, about the renaissance of MCW, sir?
Well, as a lot of people know, Monstrosity Championship Wrestling kind of began with the first Wrestling with Pop Culture anniversary show. It's been 5 years now since that event happened at the Masquerade, and then we've done shows. Wrestling with Pop Culture has done an anniversary show every year since then, but MCW kind of became its own entity and continued running at other venues, and did a big thing at Six Flags a few years ago for Fright Fest, and then everybody involved just kind of got busy with other stuff, and it never truly went away, but it hasn't been nearly as frequent as it once was. But we are about to change that with the Wrestling with Pop Culture 5th anniversary show at the Masquerade, and it was just announced today that it looks like this will be the last wrestling show ever at that building, as the Masquerade is moving to its new location in the middle of August. So it'll definitely be the last MCW show there. And I think that's the right place, or MCW is the right entity to help, close that place out, because it just is such a perfect fit for all the weird music stuff that's gone on there, and other wrestling events have gone on there. So that's going to be July 8th. Which is a Friday night. And usually we do our Wrestling with Pop Culture anniversary shows in March, but I was busy with the day job type stuff. And so we're doing a big summer thing right after 4th of July, of course. Everybody else will be doing their big 4th of July weekend shows, and then we're doing our show the next weekend. So a lot going on with that. The band Cancer Slug is performing. For those who don't know, they're kind of a horror rock band from Alabama, and the singer actually sings with Doyle from the Misfits when he does his solo stuff and tours without the Misfits or without Danzig. So So that's a pretty big deal. It'll be their last show at that building, and maybe the last show they ever do in Atlanta, because they're supposedly doing a farewell tour later this year. And I don't know if there's going to be an Atlanta date on that. I would assume so. But, yeah, so MCW's back. And I don't know all the matches yet, but I do know that the MCW Underworld Champion, the Lethal Dose Strychnine, will be defending his title. The Chattanooga Wolfman, or who knows which other Wolfman will be there, but some Wolfmen will be there. Trevor Aon, who is now going by the Wretched Trevor Aon. I know he's actually, I think a few of these guys are friends of yours, Enoch.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Trevor Aon will be there. Logan Creed, the Cyborg, will be there. Papa Marco.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So it's going to be a big deal.
Look, for anybody that's never seen Papa Marco, you have to see Papa Marco. You have to see Papa Marco. Logan Creed is an Extinction level event himself. He's wrestling Clyde Braddock this Saturday. That's amazing. Hassan Wicker,
Holy shit.
when he becomes Papa Marco, holy shit. You've got to see this. July 8th, the Masquerade, and of course Doom. Doom Trevor Aon. He'll always be Doom. My kids call him Doom. Hey, Jesus fucking Christ, his family does. He is amazing. He is the future Professor Wrestling. Him and Jeremy Foster, Dylan Cook, the Aries Brothers, and Charles Anders. Get the fuck out of here. They're money. Dude, that is an amazing lineup just from those three individuals alone.
Absolutely.
And then Strychnine, you add Strychnine to that, and whatever Wolfman, those Wolfmen are always amazing. So, is that all you know thus far, sir?
Yeah, well, of course, Papa Marco, with his mysterious voodoo powers, typically resurrects deceased wrestlers. And we've had a lot of wrestling deaths over the past year or so. So I'm curious to see who he brings back for this show. But otherwise, I think that's all that's been confirmed so far. The Carolina Lizard Man, who hasn't wrestled for us in quite a while, he'll be making his return too, and he looks quite different these days than he did the one or two times that he was involved with MCW a couple of years back. But there is you can go to WrestlingWithPopCulture.com and find out more details and updates. There's also Wrestling with Pop Culture and Monstrosity Championship Wrestling's Facebook pages. There is an event page for the event that will be updated.
I was just in touch with you for tickets, whether it to be, like this is a historic event. This is it for the Masquerade. There's been a lot of wrestling, a lot of great Masquerade. How much are tickets right off the bat, sir?
In advance, they are only $10. If you wait and buy them at the door, they'll be $13. Unlucky number 13. And right now, the only way to get tickets is through the Masquerade's website, which is masqueradeatlanta.com. Just scroll down to July 8th. I think right now they just have it listed as Wrestling with Pop Culture, but I'm trying to get them to update that. But it does have all the information about the event, and just click on Get Tickets, and you can purchase tickets there. If you live in the area, you can buy them at the Masquerade. And we will probably have tickets, physical tickets. So, if people that are wrestling on this show are wrestling elsewhere, they might have tickets that people can buy as well, but we don't have those quite yet.
Jonathan, we appreciate it. You can look at Wrestling with Pop Culture on Facebook. This is an amazing, amazing Facebook fan page. Jonathan, thank you so much. You actually do a podcast, sir. When is your podcast, sir?
Well, I used to host Georgia Wrestling Now, which was like this show, aired live on Monday nights, but I haven't done that since October. But now I'm involved with the ESO Pro Wrestling Roundtable, which is twice a month, and we record them and then upload it, so it's not live, which I kind of like the live aspect, but I am one of a few co-hosts. It is a true roundtable, so there's usually 4 or 5 people, and we discuss various topics. It is not strictly Georgia-based. We talk about WWE and Ring of Honor and various national stuff, and the people involved are from different parts of the country, so we all talk about our local indie stuff as much as we can. I usually do interviews with various people that come through Atlanta, and then, we upload those, and then we discuss various topics, based on whatever the next pay-per-view is, or just like the most recent one, we talked about animals in wrestling, or wrestling pets. So we talked about, of course, Jake the Snake, and people that used to wrestle bears at carnivals and things like that. So it just varies, but it's a lot of fun, and you can find it at, I know there's earthstation1.com, but I think there's a separate page for the podcast. Let me look that up real quick. You can also find it on iTunes and Stitcher and all those kind of places. Yeah, it's just esopodcast.com, and you can find our podcast as well as the various other podcasts that are part of that network. And, of course, I post links to them on wrestlingwithpopculture.com.
Jonathon, we appreciate it. We MCW July 8th. I'm glad that MCW is getting to do the last Masquerade wrestling event. And we thank you for coming on this evening. How can everyone get in touch with you personally, sir?
Well, if you message the Wrestling with Pop Culture Facebook page, I'm the person that will respond to that. If you want to friend me, I am Jonathon Williams on Facebook. On Twitter, I am at WrestlePopCulture, CULTR, because I didn't have enough room for the full name. I'm on Instagram, Wrestling with Pop Culture, and I'm on Snapchat, but I don't do a whole lot with that just yet. I mostly just look at other people. I'm a lurker, I guess.
Yeah, just a heads up, Jonathon, do not, if you see Joshua Hagan, avoid that Snapchat.
Like the plague.
I heard he likes to send donut pictures.
Yes, he does.
Good old Wilt Chamberlain. Oh, right.
Very, very glazed donuts. Wilt Chamberlain glazed donuts. So,
God.
So, Jonathon, thank you so much for coming on this evening. Jonathon Williams, everybody. And by the way, if you want to catch him on Facebook, that's Jonathhan.
It's not your mama's Jonathon.
It's not your mama's Jonathon.
That's right.
Yeah, not Jahan, nothing.
That's right.
That's right. No Jewish spelling in this. Ladies and gentlemen,
thanks for letting me come on the show and talk about the event, and glad you guys are still doing this.
Oh, thank you, Jonathon. We appreciate any time the door is always open. July 8th, the Masquerade in Atlanta, MCW. We're about to take our second break of the evening. When we come back, we will be rejoined by Joshua O'Hagan right here, YouTube Determined Show Live, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com, as well as ProWrestlingRadio.net.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Layne, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark Mabo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
What's up, everybody? It's Stan Grubb for Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio and the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Hey, join us every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as the triple threat of wrestling radio goes live every week, giving you their thoughts and opinions on the world of professional wrestling. Myself, Brian, and Rob, all live, all here for you. And as my good friend Rob would say, from corner to corner and pillar to post, we bring it to you every week at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. BeyondRingside.com and ProWrestlingRadio.net.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Layne, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com.